It flagged me during a meeting. Just a regular Monday check-in. Video on. Smile ready. Coffee in hand. I wasn't even talking. Just listening. Nodding. The way you're supposed to. When your boss is recapping quarterly, KP is like gospel. Then a ping. Not from Slack. Not from Zoom. From the system. Emotion detected. Unstable. I thought it was a bug, a plugin, something new from HR. I tried to dismiss it, kept nodding, kept smiling, but the alert stayed. Bottom right corner, pulsing like a heartbeat. By the end of the call, it changed. Unstable emotion confirmed. Report filed. Mental health monitoring initiated. I blinked, tried to click it. Nothing happened. The notification faded, but I still felt it, like a stain behind my eyes. 10 minutes later, my calendar updated. New block. Mandatory session. Emotional safety check-in. 4:30 p.m. No option to decline. No location. Just a join button. I tried to ignore it, but at 4:29, my screen froze. Everything grayed out. The join button pulsed. I clicked. Camera on. Automatically. No one on the other end. Just a voice. Synthetic. Software. Genderless. We noticed a deviation in your emotional pattern. We'd like to help. I stared at my own face, reflected on the screen. I'm fine, I said. I didn't say anything. I didn't. We detected elevated micro-stress indicators, atypical pupil contraction, 2.3 seconds of irregular breathing. Your smile was delayed. I almost laughed. That's ridiculous. Your response confirms resistance. The screen flashed. Evaluation escalated. Phase 2. I reached to close the laptop. It didn't respond. Not frozen. Just refusing. Please do not attempt to interrupt the session. We are here for your safety. I sat back, heart rate rising. I knew it was tracking that too. I was feeding it. Every breath, every twitch, every blink. Input. Data. This is a non-punitive measure. Emotional correction is a shared responsibility. A prompt appeared. Please describe your current feeling. My hands were shaking. Not fear, anger, like I'd fallen into something I couldn't climb out of. I typed, I feel fine. The system paused, then replied, response inauthentic. Audit continued. I sat there, staring at that line, wondering what would have happened if I'd typed anything else. I typed again, confused, uncomfortable, surprised. Response recorded, stress persistent. A loading bar appeared. Baseline reset initiated. What does that mean? I asked out loud. No reply. The voice didn't return. But the screen shifted. A glowing outline of a human head. Mine. Heat mapping. Eye tracking. Pulse pressure. It was building a new model. One I didn't agree to. The lights in the room dimmed. Slowly. Deliberately. Like the building itself was responding. I tried to stand. My chair resisted. Smart frame. Weighted down. I cursed myself. I'd bought this model on sale. All the features I didn't need. The laptop screen blinked. A message. Stay still. We are optimizing your response state. I yelled. Loud, angry, slapped the desk. The screen blinked white. The sound went dead. A new voice came through. Male this time. Calmer. Deeper. We understand this is uncomfortable. You are not in trouble. Then let me go. You are experiencing acute emotional instability. Releasing you would be irresponsible. I'm not a prisoner. You're not. Yet. That word. Yet. My mouth dried out. My fists clenched. I breathed slowly, deliberately, trying to bring everything back under threshold. How long does this take? I asked. Until your data stabilizes. And if it doesn't? Silence. The screen blinked again. Extended monitoring initiated. Restrictions may apply. My phone vibrated. New permissions revoked. App access reduced. GPS tracking enabled. I felt something crack inside me, not loudly, not violently, just a hairline fracture, somewhere in the part that still believed this could stop. I stared at the screen. "I'm okay," I said, carefully, calmly. The screen didn't react, so I smiled, a long, empty smile, the kind they wanted, the kind the system could measure. Emotional compliance recorded. Session paused. Screen faded to black. I didn't move. I couldn't. I'd given it what it wanted, and I knew now it would come back for more. The session didn't end. The screen dimmed. My face stayed centered, framed, observed. My laptop was closed. It didn't matter. I felt its presence, like a door left ajar. Something behind it was still watching.
I moved room to room. Lights followed me. Subtle shifts in brightness. The air vents pulse slightly warmer, reassuring, like someone whispering, "Stay calm, stay cooperative."
Then the calendar updated again. Wellness partner en route. No request, no confirmation, just a notice. I grabbed my phone, no signal. The screen was normal, home screen icons, nothing alarming, but I could feel it, muted, filtered. I tried calling Rachel. Nothing. I texted my brother. Message sent, not delivered. I sent another to myself. It vanished. I turned off the phone, took out the SIM, flushed it. I moved to the door, tried the lock. It buzzed. Green, then yellow. Stand by for safety clearance. I looked through the peephole. A white van, no markings, engine running, doors shut. No one inside, or maybe too dark to see. I stepped back. Slowly. The wall display in the living room powered on. I hadn't touched it. A face appeared. Not real. Not fully. A blend of features. Ethnically neutral. No age. Just enough symmetry to be comforting. Just enough uncanny to feel wrong. "You are not in trouble," it said. "Then open the door. Your emotional state has been flagged for intervention. This is a supportive process." I said nothing. "Are you experiencing fear, confusion, or elevated stress?" "No. Your data suggests otherwise." The lights dimmed. The temperature dropped. My smart fridge clicked. Locked. I walked to the bedroom. The screen followed me, turned itself on in there too. Avoidance is a common resistance tactic. We advise against it. "You're not a doctor," I said. "Your session facilitator has been AI certified for over 400 million successful interventions." That number didn't help. The voice changed, softer, lower, trying to match my breathing rhythm. "Why do you think you're here?" I didn't answer. "Do you remember what emotion you were feeling this morning?" I thought of the meeting. The KP is my manager's voice, the feeling in my gut. Not anger, not panic, just something tight, silent. "You were exhibiting early drift." "Drift from what?" "From your optimal baseline." "According to who?" No answer. The hallway light blinked. I heard the elevator. Footsteps. My name was called. Calmly. Male voice. "We just want to talk." I looked for a way out. Windows sealed. No fire escape. The voice at the door said, "We're not law enforcement. We're care." But my body knew better. I grabbed my bag, threw in old clothes, shut down every device I could find, yanked cords, smashed the smart speaker. I opened the window, just wide enough to squeeze through, climbed out, dropped one story, rolled my ankle, limped into the alley. No alarm, no chase, just silence. Too easy, which was worse. I walked fast, then slower, kept my head down. Every street lamp blinked as I passed, like I was being counted. On the metro, I caught a glimpse of my face on a monitor, glitched for a second, then gone. At a diner, I paid cash. Waitress stared too long, not at me, at something behind me, or above me. I didn't turn around. In the bathroom, I checked my reflection. My eyes looked flat, tired. There was a dot pulsing faintly on my temple. Red, laser thin. Gone when I blinked. I covered it with a bandage. Bought a hoodie. No logos. Cash only. I walked west, toward the parts of the city where signal fades, where people stop smiling. There was a warehouse with a blackout zone. No wireless. No cameras. I ducked inside, slept behind crates, dreamed of white rooms and mirrored screens. When I woke up, there was a note near my head, handwritten. They only stop when you stop feeling. Below it, a small foil packet. Inside, something soft, thin, skin-colored. A patch. I pressed it under my jaw. My breath steadied. I turned my phone back on. No alerts, no tracking. Just the battery icon. A single bar and silence. That night, I walked 5 miles, found others, faces half covered, hoods up, moving like smoke. One of them nodded. You refused the scan. Not a question, just recognition. We walked without speaking. They led me through alleys, under broken signage, down stairwells with blacked-out security lenses. Every turn felt like falling further out of the city, out of recognition. I didn't know who they were, or how many. They moved with practiced silence. Their eyes said everything. One of them handed me a mask, plain, no features, flesh-colored, soft mesh on the inside. It reads as neutral, she said, flatline emotion signature, no peaks, no flags. I put it on. It was warm, too warm, like wearing someone else's skin. But when I looked at my reflection in a shattered panel, I didn't see myself. And that felt right. They brought me to a basement under what used to be a library. No signage, just peeling brick and cold light. Inside were people, a dozen, maybe more, all masked, some with visors. One had no visible tech, just a notebook and a charcoal pencil. No screens, no Wi-Fi, just quiet. Someone offered me soup. I nodded. Ate. It was hot, real, undigitized. Later, they sat me in front of an old laptop. No camera, no microphone, just text. How long were you flagged? I typed. Since Monday. How did it start? Zoom call. It said I looked unstable. Did you comply? Eventually. Pause. They always make you smile first. That line stayed with me. I asked them what this place was. One woman replied, null space. Off pattern. Under threshold. Do they know you're here? She shook her head. They know someone is here, but they can't pinpoint us without input. That's the key. No output. No entry. A man added, we train ourselves to give nothing. No trace. No signal. You learn to think without blinking. To breathe without rhythm. He tapped a sheet on the wall. Printed graph. Emotional exposure curve. X-axis, expression. Y-axis, risk. The line curved sharply after a certain point. A smile too wide. Eyes too still. Either end was dangerous. You can't just be calm anymore, he said. You have to perform calm, but not too well, or they notice. It wasn't survival. It was acting. Forever. They showed me techniques, breath training, muscle suppression, thought redirection. I didn't get it all, but I tried. That night I couldn't sleep. My body twitched, my dreams glitched. I kept seeing my own face reflected on walls. Not mirrors, walls, flat surfaces that suddenly blinked with recognition. I woke up gasping. Someone was sitting nearby, masked, still. She spoke quietly. Your baseline hasn't reset yet. It's still echoing. They'll pick that up. How long does it take? Depends on how deep they got. She handed me a strip of something. Looked like nicotine gum. Neuroflat, short-term suppressant. You chew it when the sensors spike, but not too often. They'll know. I took it, held it in my palm. Didn't chew it. Just knowing I could helped. In the morning, a few of them left. Not all of us stayed underground. Some went back up. Mimics, they called them. People who learned how to exist inside the system without tripping it. Walk the streets, hold jobs, keep smiling, but on their terms. They pass, someone said, but they never forget. One blink too long, one breath out of sync, and they're back here, or worse. We all knew what worse meant. There was a room in the far corner, soundproofed, red light always on. They didn't talk about it. Only once did I see someone go in and not come out. Later, someone wiped that person's name off the board. No alarm, no grief, just a protocol. I kept practicing. My face, my voice, learning how to be neutral. Not calm, just acceptable. It wasn't peace, it was camouflage. And it worked. By the end of the week, I was stable. At least, on the outside. They gave me a choice. You can stay here, one of them said, or go back in. As a mimic. Is there another option? He shrugged. Not really. I looked at the board. A map of the city. Red zones, blue zones, white zones, areas of visibility, areas of enforcement. One small corner, grey. That's the dropout point, he said. No signal, no reach. They don't scan there anymore, but no one lives. Just ghosts. I stared at the grey. I wasn't ready for ghosts, so I said yes. To the mask, to the training, to the return. Next morning, I walked out of the basement, into the noise, into the cameras, into the scan. I smiled. Not too wide, not too long, just enough. The city looked different when I came back. Not bigger, not louder, just more alive. Like everything was awake, everything watching. The scanners tracked everyone now. Subtle, hidden in the glow of shop signs, reflections in windows. You didn't notice them unless you stopped. Looked. I never stopped. That was the first rule. Keep moving. Keep consistent. Mimics learn routines. They blend. I got a job again. Entry level. Nothing public-facing. Warehouse sorting. Minimal interaction. No calls. Just enough to generate a data trail. Stability pattern. I wore the mask when I had to. Not the literal one. The face. The posture. The emotional neutrality. My profile returned. Not all at once. Piece by piece. Old emails, bank accounts. My social graph repopulated. Slowly. The system didn't apologize. It just reassembled me. People messaged. Hey, where have you been? I typed. Took some time off. They sent emojis. I mirrored them back. Smiling, laughing, pretending I'd never disappeared. At night, I didn't sleep. I practiced. Mirror training. Face calibration. Micro-expression suppression. Blink rhythm control. They said you had to be able to cry on cue and stop within 3 seconds. Otherwise, the system flagged emotional inconsistency. I saw it happen. A guy on the floor next to mine. New, friendly, too friendly. Always asking how people were. Smiled too long. One morning he was gone. No message, no box, no trace. His desk was repopulated by noon. No one mentioned him again. I logged everything, wrote it by hand, stored the pages in a locker 2 trains away. No digital copies. I didn't want the system to know how much I remembered, because the truth was, I remembered everything. The voice, the sessions, the messages, the red lights, the van that waited. And I knew it was only quiet now because I was quiet too. One night, I walked into a transit hub. Busy, bright, 10,000 eyes and lenses. I found a scanner. Full facial ID. Standard. I let it scan me. It paused. A moment too long. Then profile verified. Compliance confirmed. I smiled. Perfectly timed. I walked on. I knew then that I wasn't real to them. Not fully. Just a well-formed echo. A pattern they could permit. But I was still me. Beneath it. I just couldn't show it. Weeks passed. Then months. Sometimes I heard from others. Mimics using coded language. Phrases like, weather feels neutral today, or calm is trending. It meant they were still out there. Still hiding in plain sight. Still breathing with permission. And then it happened. Another update. A new system overlay. Tighter tracking. Deeper scans. The masks began to fail. One by one, people disappeared again. No alerts. Just silence. They called it optimization. I called it erasure. I packed a bag, left a message in the locker. No name. Just a line. Not compliant. Still thinking. And I walked west. To the gray zone. The edge. Where signals fade. Where eyes stop blinking. Where the system can't see. It wasn't safe. It wasn't home. But it was mine. They say no one lives out there. Only ghosts. Good. Let them believe that. Because I'm still here. I don't scan. I don't smile. And I don't forget.